Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony at Bing Concert Hall. We ask that you take a seat as we will begin programming momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame induction ceremony at Bing Concert Hall. Please welcome Steve Krause of the Draper Investment Fund Executive Committee.
I've been told to make these remarks short, so I'll do that. Don't worry. So I'll just give you a little bit of background. Why am I here, especially when we're honoring all these incredible athletes? Well, I was a Stanford undergrad. I have a double E from Stanford. I also have an MBA from Stanford. I have been a season ticket holder of football since 1979, and yes, I was at the Cal game, the play. His knee was down, and the ref definitely called stoppage. So them are the facts. So what I'm really here for is to tell you a little bit very quickly about the Draper Investment Fund. The Draper Investment Fund was put together by a number of real supporters, started by Frank Lodato in 1982, and he then reached out to a couple of venture capitalists, which included one of my founding partners at US Venture Partners, Bill Bowes, also Don Valentine, and Burt McMurtry, and they put together about $7 million of investment in the original Draper Investment Fund, divided into two areas: venture capital, which is the Lodato Fund, named after Frank Lodato, and then also the Ford Fund, which does private equity. And that fund has grown over the years. It has managed to distribute $191 million to the athletic department. Thank you very much for the recognition, and it's my honor to talk to Bernard all the time about how much capital improvements we need. So, and it's a pleasure. It helped build the new stadium. It helped build all of the additions at Maples, and hopefully in the future it will continue to do the same. And while doing that, it has also put together a tremendous track record of return on investments that exceeds the private equity for venture capital IRRs. So we've done a pretty good job over the years. It's made up, between the venture capitalists and the private equity people, of 58 leading investors who get together on a quarterly basis and invest get Stanford money into their best investment ideas. And that is what this community has become, and that's a lot of the reasons that we are here today. So with that said, I'm going to introduce some of the greatest videos you're ever going to see as we kick off the Hall of Fame presentation. Thank you very much.
Please welcome the J. Christian Kenninger Director of Athletics, Bernard Muir.
I love this evening. Give it up for that class, huh? That's why we're here. At Stanford, we always talk about great storytelling, and in my mind, we have 900 different stories to tell each year, 900 student athletes wearing the uniform, but these 10 are unique, right? And tonight, we're going to hear their story, which is so powerful. But before we hear their story, I'd like to do a few shout-outs. If we could turn up the lights just a little bit. I would love for any former student athlete that is here in the audience, if they could stand and be recognized. Thank you. I would like to ask any former Hall of Famer if you're here to be recognized. Oh, how about that? So impressive. Only at Stanford. If I could ask coaches, for any former coaches or current coaches, if you are here to be recognized. I'm going to ask the families and guests of the inductees if you could stand and be recognized. Yeah, we're going to get everybody up. Yeah. We know it takes a village, and we're thrilled that you're here as well to enjoy this occasion. If I could ask the teammates of the inductees to stand. Any teammates of the inductees? Or sisters, or sisters. This is just such a special evening, and I would like to thank Steve and other Draper Investment Fund directors who are here, and I know that there's many. If you could stand and as well be recognized. You know, Steve, I thank you for the $191 million that you've provided to allow these student athletes to thrive, and I can't wait for the next $191 million because there'll be more to come. With that, I also like to, their President Levin is not here tonight, but I would like to just give a shout out to the entire university administration that allows athletics to thrive. If we could just give them a round of applause. Obviously, this is a special evening. I'm about to turn the mic over to Troy Clardy, who is the voice of the Cardinal, covers many radio broadcasts for football and men's basketball, has nearly 30 years of experience as a broadcaster. And Troy, I'm just thankful that you're here tonight to really induct these 10 special stories into the Hall of Fame. So with that, I just say thank you. Thank you for being here. This is a special night. Let's sit back and enjoy. And Troy, I turn it over to you.
Thank you. Awesome. Nerd Nation, how you feeling tonight? All right. It's one of my favorite events of the year to be a part of every single year. Serving as MC of this event last year was just a tremendous highlight. Looking forward to once again celebrating the individual accomplishments and the stories of this year's class. First off, maybe an introduction might be in order. I'm indeed Troy Clardy, the radio play-by-play voice of Stanford football and men's basketball. Looking forward to being back on the air tomorrow. Stanford versus SMU, that storied rivalry, the Cardinal and the Mustangs at Stanford Stadium tomorrow. John Platts and I will have the call for you on the radio side. I'm class of 97, so I go back to the Stone Ages a little bit for Stanford, but it's been my honor and my pleasure to be associated with Stanford Athletics for 3 decades and in my second year as this role. And I love this event for so many reasons, but maybe one of the biggest ones is that there's just so much greatness in the room right now. As you look around, you see the class going in, you see, you had a chance, Bernard did a terrific job of recognizing the teammates, the former Hall of Famers, the coaches. There's just so much greatness here in the room that perfectly encapsulates what Stanford Athletics is truly all about. And the beauty of it is that each of our inductees here tonight left a lasting and even more cool, a continuing impact on this campus. Though Chiney, I gotta admit, this afternoon at Jimmy V's, I had the Neckinator for lunch. I went with that. I went with that sandwich. It's good with chicken, Swiss, bacon, buffalo sauce on a brioche. You can't beat that. It's good stuff. An awesome class about to be inducted here tonight. Well decorated, fantastic moments, folks who have scored game-winning goals for Stanford in national championship games, been 3-time All-Americans in wrestling, dominated in the Olympic pool, won 3 NCAA water polo titles, killed it on the volleyball court. See what I did there? Kill, volleyball. Took Stanford baseball to Omaha 3 times, topped the Stanford men's golf record books, and there are a few names in Stanford men's golf over the years. If you're at the top of that record book, you're doing a lot of great things. Vaulted into an Olympic gold medal, did wonderful things on and off the basketball floor, and scored the game-winning touchdown at Notre Dame in 2012. Okay, well, he didn't score on 2nd and 4th. I'm still salty about that. You scored 2nd goal and 4th and goal. You scored on those, my man. That's all right. You ended the year being named Rose Bowl Offensive MVP, so certainly we will take that. All great competitors, all great champions, all great student athletes, because that's a thing here on this campus, and all amazing athletes and all amazing Stanford ambassadors for Stanford athletics and Stanford University then and now. Among the notable achievements for the class of 2024, 4 inductees being inducted in their very first year of eligibility. 3 inductees were members of an NCAA championship team, while 2 inductees claimed NCAA individual titles. All 10 inductees were honored as All-Americans. How about that? Combining for 50 individual honors overall. 4 inductees were honored as their sport's National Player of the Year. And in a year in which Stanford claimed a school record 39 medals and a little something called the Olympic Games in Paris over the summer, 3 of our inductees here tonight were Olympic medalists and combined for 6 medals overall during the course of their Olympic careers. So outstanding accomplishments. Let's give them a hand for what they've done here. And so after tonight's ceremony, the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame will officially include 480 individuals. So let's get to it. Let's start inducting some folks. And let us begin by opening tonight's ceremony with Nick Amuchastegui. Did I get it? Thank you. I've been practicing it nonstop for the past hour. He's one of the most recognizable names in program history, and his accomplishments on the mat just as impressive as his success in the classroom. Nick led the Cardinal to its all-time best team finish, placing 11th at NCAAs in 2011. He's one of only 3 three-time All-Americans in school history, and he did it in the 165 and the 174-pound weight classes. The first 2-time NCAA finalist in program history at 174 pounds, Nick was the 2012 Pac-12 Wrestler of the Year and a 2-time conference champion. He ranks 4th all-time with 118 career wins. That's pretty impressive stuff. And then you get to this. 3-time academic All-American, 2-time academic All-American of the Year, as well as 2012 Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year, a 2-time NCAA Elite 90 Award recipient, and the 2013 NCAA Today's Top 10 Award honoree. What'd you do in college? Nick is the 4th Hall of Fame inductee from wrestling and the 1st since Tanner Gardner in 2019. Please welcome Nick Amuchastegui.
Wow, amazing to be here before all of you. One of the amazing things about athletics is no matter how good you are, no one exists on an island. And so it's the natural recipe, if you have clear eyes to see the truth at all, of how dependent we are on one another and on building a team and on learning and growing from each other. And Stanford's certainly been that for me. I'd like to take a little time to kind of explain to you some of the things it's shown me and the ways it's grown me in my life. And to be clear, what I mean by that, by my last statement, is there's no hope. There are at least 10 people that add up in my life, without which I wouldn't be in the position I am now. And I'm incredibly thankful to all of you that know you played that role in my life, and many who don't even know. And that's a wonderful thing in life. As soon as you start to think you're big stuff at all, to take a look around and remember how dependent we are on the people that love us and care about us and have poured into our lives. So I'm certainly a testimony to that. I grew up in a little bitty town in Southern Oregon, just in the middle of like redneck, blue-collar, tough culture, and that's what I was through and through. And there was a national champion wrestler, the only national champion we've had. I lost twice, by the way, in the finals. So did my sweet wife. So she was a swimmer and lost twice in the finals. We were 2 seconds, so we're both double losers. The only thing, yeah. So today, together, maybe we have four losses. Anyhow, Matt Gentry grew up in a similar place. He was a national champion at Stanford, the only one we've had. And I went to wrestle with him when I was a senior, and he saw me. I was very much, calling me a diamond in the rough would be that's a complimentary term for what I probably was. I was very rough, because we valued just hard work and grit and continuing to push hard in the same direction. That's why my high school team was tough. That's why I had any attention from Stanford. And the first thing that happened was we're in this junky old high school gym, and I was fast and strong. And he had just graduated college and was like getting into the Olympic level training. And I shot on him and hammered his leg, and he spun around with his ankle and threw it down like this, and my head just bounced off the mat and jumped on top of me. And he jumped on top of me. He says, "You got to work smarter, not harder, son. Smarter, not harder." And that's just been a continued testimony of like one of the things I've learned and saw. And the same is true in industry, where it's so easy to put your head down and keep plowing on an idea and not do the hard thing and stop and evaluate what you're doing, what your idea is, how your plan is going, how your life is going, and whether you need it in peace, not just keep plowing forward, but stop and think and change directions, change strategy, and work smarter, not harder. That's one of the simple things that wrestling has taught me, and that's like made a difference in my ability to be successful here. One of the things that I've found really notable, like just being out in the world and working with some Stanford people here and there, is they're fairly regularly identifiable. You'll meet somebody and be talking with them and ask them, like, did you go to Stanford? And about half the time the answer is yes. And the small difference, I say this because I think many of you can probably relate, is a certain flavor of humility that goes along with excellence, where when you don't have anything to prove to anyone anymore, you don't have to make a show of yourself, and you don't have to be the one who's right in the room. But what you're interested in is asking the right and real questions about how to move your project forward, your sport forward, performance and other people forward. And that sort of clear-eyed, pure-hearted hard work that's coupled with the humility that lets you think in first principles ways, not put yourself first, put other people first, and move your organization, move your team, move whatever it is ahead in ways that the rest of the world or many of the people wouldn't even think are possible. And Stanford has shown, I don't know if people come in with that attitude to Stanford or if they just leave with it, but they certainly do leave with it. And that's been a massive impact in my life that this place has had. So again, thank you very much for this honor and for all the time and tears and sweat and patience that people have put into me along the years to help me get to where I am. Thank you.
One more time for Nick Amuchastegui. Yeah, sometimes you do have to kind of stop and look around a little once in a while. What is that Ferris Bueller said? Sometimes life moves too fast. Sometimes you got to stop and look around, otherwise you might miss it. I like that. I like that. Our next inductee, DiRado Andrews. Two years after putting the finishing touches on an incredible collegiate career, Maya etched her name among the Cardinal greats with an incredible Olympic performance. She helped lead the Cardinal to 4 NCAA appearances, including a runner-up finish in 2014, and was also a 4-time NCAA individual champion, winning each event during her senior season. A 21-time All-American, how about that? 7-time conference champion and a member of 2 conference championship teams. She was also named the 2011 Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. Maya also excelled in the classroom, was named an academic All-American along the way. Her defining moments came during the 2016 Rio Olympics, competing for Team USA and earning 4 medals, 1 shy of the school record for most medals won in a single Olympics. And I'm sure that's a heck of a conversation starter. Maya is the 23rd Hall of Fame inductee from women's swimming and diving, following Elaine Breeden in 2022. Please welcome and congratulate Maya DiRado Andrews.
Thank you. It's really surreal to be here. I know we all hold Stanford very dear in our hearts, but I think it's safe to say I really exist because of Stanford. My parents met here, and I grew up not too far up the road, so came to many Stanford sporting events growing up, and not long after I actually started swimming year-round, we must have gotten a Block S swim cap at one of the meets that we came to down here, and my dad helped me as like a 6 or a 7-year-old Sharpie DiRado onto the cap, as make sure the coaches knew that this 25-yard freestyler was, available. But I say that partly to illustrate like how intense of a 7-year-old I was, but also to really, kind of prove my credentials that this was really always the dream. Not this specifically, because I wasn't that ambitious or intense of a 7-year-old. This really has surpassed kind of any expectation that I had. The farther away I get from swimming, like 8 years now, I feel actually very removed from kind of the actual act of swimming, and I think 2 kids and 8 years will do that. But I've really never felt closer to the people that made it happen, and so this is really just a wonderful opportunity to be able to thank them, and so I hope you'll indulge me. Starting off with my husband, Rob, who also was a Stanford swimmer. Yes. He'll hate that. But swimming really defined the start of our relationship. But 9 years in, it's just getting better and sweeter every year, and I'm so lucky to have you by my side. Rob is a great boost to my already pretty strong self-confidence, so I'm very lucky to have you in my corner. To my parents, now that I am a parent as well, I actually think I start to understand just how much of a sacrifice it was, all those years driving to the East Bay and spending your weekends at the pool on hours on end. And I never heard you or remember you grumbling, probably because I was the one grumbling all the time about going to practice or those meets. But it was just such a gift to kind of let me see how good I can be, and really the only expectation you set was that I give my best, no more, no less. To Greg, my coach, I'm so glad that we were smart enough on the hiring committee 12 years ago to bring you in. Like I said, healthy self-confidence. But you really were pretty fundamental in changing the trajectory of my swimming. There's a podcast that we love, and the question that they always ask their guests is, what's the kindest thing that anyone's ever done for you? And I'm so sorry. I always think about the conversation that we had where you very kindly but clearly told me that I could be great if I could just stop being a dumbass. And that was truly life-changing, so thank you so much. And to all the coaches here, to all the coaches that give your mornings and your nights and your weekends to helping young people realize their potential, it really is one of the kindest things that you can do with your time and your talents, so thank you so much. To my teammates who made the drive to this, you brought all of the fun and the richness and texture to the college experience, and I'm just so lucky to be a part of this crew. College was fun, but it's even more special now as we're in each other's weddings and meeting each other's kids, and most importantly, being able to ski now that nobody cares what happens to our knees. That's been an absolute joy, so thank you for all of those memories. And then finally to Stanford and the athletic department, Bernard specifically, I think it's one of the hardest things in the world to maintain excellence. And that is what you are tasked with in your stewardship of this very singular environment. A place that a very intense, nerdy 7-year-old can aspire to get to someday. And it surpassed all expectations. So thank you to everybody that's involved in this university, in this athletic department, and creating such an incredible place for young people to grow. Of all of the accomplishments that were read, my proudest is that I am an alum of this institution. So thank you so much.
Once again, DiRado Andrews. We're going to stay in the pool, but switch sports. Our next inductee is Annika Dries. Like many of the biggest names, there we go. Like many of the biggest names in women's water polo, it all started at Avery Aquatic Center. A member of 3 NCAA national championship teams, while also delivering a runner-up finish, Annika was a 4-time All-American, one of 15 players in school history to earn the recognition in all 4 of her seasons. Annika was named to the Peter J. Catino Award in 2011 and 2014, one of 3 repeat winners in school history. She was also named ACWPC Player of the Year in 2014 as a senior. The 2011 MPSF Player of the Year and member of the 2014 MPSF Championship team, Annika's 183 career goals rank 9th in school history. 4-time ACWPC Academic All-American and 2014 NCAA Postgraduate Scholarship recipient. Annika won an Olympic gold medal with Team USA at the Olympic Games in London in 2012. Annika is the 6th Hall of Fame inductee from women's water polo, and she makes it back-to-back years for that program. Melissa Seidemann was right here at this very podium last year. Please welcome Annika Dries.
Wow. Thank you all so much for this incredible honor. I want to just start by thanking my friends and family, both those who traveled to be here tonight, as well as those supporting from afar. Stanford truly is my home away from home and the home of champions. Throughout the past 10 years at my Stanford career as a student athlete, researcher, medical student, both my athletic and the kickstart to my medical career thrived here on the farm. I had the privilege of playing with some of the most intelligent, enthusiastic, and competitive teammates in the world at Avery Aquatic Center, many of whom are here tonight, and also those who paved the way for women's water polo as an NCAA and Olympic sport. Together, we brought home, as mentioned, multiple NCAA championships, the first gold medal for the U.S. in women's water polo, and countless priceless memories, whether in the daily grind, team dinners, just traveling together, and I'm so lucky for those memories and times. Stanford also gave me the opportunity to take very forward-thinking classes in genetics and medicine, really sparking my interest in research. And I even explored across interdisciplinary classes in the law and engineering departments, and really rounded out an incredible undergraduate degree here. In the pool, my role evolved from being a recruited offensive player to also becoming a defensive specialist, and probably the fastest swimming center, which isn't really a thing in the world, inspired by those who came before me and leaving a legacy for others to follow. But really, the joy of the game for me came in setting up the perfect play, or block, or pass, and being that momentum shifter. I've always embraced challenges with optimism, resilience, and a smile. Qualities shaped by playing alongside of some of my high school teammates who are here tonight, and just keeping that enthusiasm. Thank you to JT, John Tanner, Susan Ortman, and Kyle Utsumi, and all my coaches for their creativity and for laying the foundation for greatness. And beyond the pool, thank you to my academic mentors and the Stanford Athletics academic team, who was always there for me, whether it was helping me organize bio midterms internationally while traveling with the Olympic team, or helping launch my career as a researcher in genetics, helping families with undiagnosed and rare diseases. And at Stanford, striving for excellence isn't just a goal, it's an ethos. This is a place of champions and first, built on a trial and error and courage to say go for it again and again. And being part of Stanford Athletics with its outstanding coaches, support system, really taught me to embrace these opportunities and achieve something that has never been done before. That go-card resilience and team spirit really extended beyond our own team, and I have such great memories cheering on my friends in soccer, synchro, swimming, basketball, and football, and just the amazing community of athletes, and that I'm lucky to be inducted here with tonight. Thank you so much again for this honor. Being inducted into the Stanford Hall of Fame is a dream come true. Thank you to my friends, family, my partner Juan, who I met here on the farm, and my parents Pam and Eric for always being there. Now, as a doctor, coach, and mentor, I hope to continue championing greatness every day and bring out the best in those around me. Go Stanford. Thank you.
Annika Dries, everyone. All right, inductee number 4 tonight, Matt Fuerbringer. One of the best men's volleyball players in school history, Matt has continued to make an impact as a player, coach, and ambassador at every level of the sport. A member of the 1997 NCAA championship team, Matt was named the 1994 AVCA National Freshman of the Year and was a 4-time All-American during his entire tenure here on the farm. 3 years after being named MPSF Freshman of the Year, Matt was a member of the 1997 MPSF championship team in his senior season, and to this day, he remains the school record holder in career and single-season kills. Told you he was killing it on the farm at the top, on the floor at the top of the show. Matt has served 2 stints as an assistant coach of the U.S. men's national team, helping to lead the Americans to bronze medals in 2016 and this past summer in Paris. the 2003 AVP Rookie of the Year, who won 8 beach volleyball tournaments and reached a career-high #5 ranking. Matt is also the head coach of League One Volleyball Madison, a U.S. women's professional team opening its inaugural season. State Street Brats in the house. Matt is the 6th Hall of Fame inductee from the men's volleyball program and the first since Dan Hannon in 2012. Matt Fuerbringer.
Yes, this is amazing. This is amazing. Yeah, seeing everyone here. I just want to say that when I played, there were color photos. Okay? Bernard, I know you guys lost my phone number for a few years. Maybe that's why I'm not here sooner, but yeah. It is an absolute honor to stand up here and represent the men's volleyball team. And so I want to start off with a story. It was 1997. We had just won a national championship, and we were all in the court celebrating. It was the first one in school history. And my dad back then was always taking photos and had his camera out. And a security guard comes up to my dad and says, Sir, you're going to have to clear the court. And my dad, being the gentleman that he is, turns to the security guard and says, go climb a tree. I don't know if you remember that, Dad, but really funny and really fitting that that is what keeps me in sports all this time, is the fact that we get to share these experiences with our family. Thank you to Stanford for bringing my family back together one more time. I got teammates here that I haven't seen in a long time, and it's super special. The other part of sport that's always driven me is being on a team and chasing something great. And at Stanford, that was something we were allowed to do and encouraged to do, and we did. And so I want to go back to that 1997 final. We were the #1 team in the world, at least the USA, and we were playing UCLA. And UCLA was not #1 that year, but they'd won 19 national championships, and we'd won 0. And everyone was telling us that we weren't going to win. UCLA was going to win when it mattered. So we go out there, we play them, we win the first set. Pretty easy. Second set's a little closer. Third set, I'm going to give John a heart attack, my coach up here. Second set, I got a little bit closer, and in the third set, they won. The fourth set, they blew us out. So in volleyball, we play 3 out of 5 sets. They beat us 15-4. We're coming back to the bench, and everyone's dejected. Okay, everyone's down. And we had a bunch of leaders on our team, but one of the quiet leaders on our team, Keenan Whitehurst, came up to me and said, Matt, we need to go back to the locker room. We got to go back. And I looked at him and I said, you're right. So we grab the team, we go back to the locker room, we huddle up, and I kind of look at everyone and I say, guys, if you had told us at the beginning of this year that we were going to play a 5th set against UCLA to win a national championship, every last one of us would be going crazy. And right now, we're in here dejected, worrying about what we did, how we're up 2-0 and losing. And immediately, our team captain, Mike Lambert, starts going crazy. And the next thing you know, we go out, we win the national championship 3-2, beat UCLA for the first time, knock them out, and win that national championship. So, special moment. Really special to see how Keenan stepped up to be a leader in that moment, and how just that little switch, how we viewed that moment, turned from like what we were losing into what we could win. And it's something that I've taken into my coaching career, something I love to share with my athletes. There's one more moment I want to talk to that's just really amazing to me, and it was July 8, 2020. And it was a day, a very difficult day for us in the men's volleyball world. I know a difficult day for Bernard and for many of us here that our program was taken away. And just to tell you a little bit, that's why I'm so proud to be representing our program, to tell you a little bit about what happened. Within 8 hours, we were on a Zoom, and we had 85% of all of our alumni ever from Stanford on that Zoom. Within 1 week, we had pods for, fundraising, and within 6 months, we'd raised $8 million, okay? It was just an incredible feat. I want to give a little credit to David Saeta, Wendell Burkhofer, Jeremy Jacobs, Parker Blackman, Coach John Costi for their leadership in this. But I'm telling this story because it wasn't enough to get it back. It took the whole school. It took Stanford. It took Adam Keefe from basketball, Jennifer Azzi from basketball, stepping up with 36 strong. And it wasn't until that moment where we relayed why? Because we wanted the next generation to have the same experiences we had. The best years of my life were here on the farm. My friends are so important. It shaped me. It gave me so much. And I couldn't think of the younger generation not having that. And it was such an honor to have people from other sports, signing that. There was 1,000 people signing those petitions a week. So just an amazing moment. I'm so grateful for all for my Stanford experience here. And I just want to say a few more thank yous here. I want to thank my coach, John Costi, Ruben Nieves, Al Rodriguez, for watching a tall, skinny basketball player win a state title up and down the street in the Oakland Forum and be convinced that he could be a good volleyball player. I want to thank Stanford Admissions for letting me in. That was a good... It was close. It was close. I want to thank my setter, Stu Chong, up there for setting me into the Hall of Fame. I want to thank my longtime beach partner up there, Casey Jennings, for teaching me what grit is. I want to thank my sister, Samantha, my brother-in-law, John, my uncle, Neil, my aunt, Julie, for teaching me about unconditional love. I want to thank my wife, Joy. My daughter is playing live on TV right now. My wife's watching the whole time. They're playing Oregon. She plays volleyball at Wisconsin. So they're doing that. I want to thank you guys are my rock. You guys inspire me every day and make me a better person. Lastly, I want to thank my parents. My parents never talked to a teacher, never talked to a coach, never got in the way of what I wanted to do. They just said, be a good person, put school first, and work hard. So I love them for that. And lastly, I know I've gone a little long here, but if anyone were to come up and try to get me off the stage, I would have told them, go climb a tree. Thank you.
Gotta adjust the mic here one more time for Matt Fuerbringer. We mid-90s guys from Stanford have to stick together. So Matt, awesome to see you in here. All right, the fifth member of this class is Teresa Noyola. Women's soccer, of course, long considered one of the most consistent teams on campus. Boy, what a big win for them. Dramatic win for them last night at Louisville, Cardinal versus Cardinals. That's always fun. But women's soccer, one of the most consistent teams on campus, and Teresa's tenure still stands as one of the very best in school history. She scored the game-winning goal in the national championship over Duke to give Stanford its first national title in women's soccer, the first of three. She also led Stanford to the NCAA College Cup in all 4 of her seasons. Plenty of awards on her mantle. 2011 Mac Herman Trophy Award, 3-time first-team All-American, 3-time All-Conference selection, and 2011 Honda Sports Award winner, just to name a few. In the Stanford women's soccer record book, she still ranks 2nd in school history in games played and is tied for 3rd in assists. Add to all of that, this 2-time academic All-American, NSCAA Scholar Athlete of the Year, Senior Class Award winner, and Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. Also a 2-time World Cup participant representing Mexico. She is the 8th Hall of Fame inductee from women's soccer and the first since Kristen Press 2 years ago. Please welcome and congratulate Teresa Noyola.
Forgive me, I'm a little nervous, so forgive me if I read a little bit. First of all, thank you so much to Stanford, the university, and the athletics department This is a really incredible honor. It was always my dream to go to Stanford. I grew up in Palo Alto, so Stanford's pretty much my hometown, so this is extremely special for me. I grew up coming to watch soccer games when the stadium hadn't been built yet, so my dad and I could just go, and there was a fence about this high. We would just lean over, and watch the game, and that's what made me want to play at Stanford. And I think that Stanford is such a unique environment. Having to push yourself to your intellectual potential and your athletic potential, it just makes you like a healthy human. And I think that I still try to reach those things now. So also quickly, congratulations to all the other inductees. Really, really amazing, all of you. So to my parents, for all the selfless sacrifices and loving details that enabled me to pursue my dreams to the maximum, I'm forever grateful. To my dad for instilling in me your ethics of honesty, discipline, and hard work, and for always keeping me company in the most challenging moments. I realize now that staying motivated for all those grueling shuttle runs was in large part because I got to hang out with my dad at the same time. And thank you so much for just always showing up and expecting the best from me. And thank you. To my mom, you are truly a unique and beautiful person, and your kind, selfless, and unconditional love will always be a guide for how I want to treat myself and treat others in this world. You supported me for so many years with little acts of love and countless conversations, and I realize now how big those little things actually really were. And you always remind me of all the positive things when I was hard on myself, and that helped me continue to move forward. So truly, from the bottom of my heart, I dedicate this to both of you tonight. Thank you so much. Albertine Montoya, my club coach, and Aaron, his wife, is here as well. They actually surprised me, and I started crying. That's how much they mean to me. So Albertine, you deserve a tremendous amount of recognition for the pure happiness you bring to your players, not to mention the wonderful opportunities that open up due to your excellent coaching. Albertine is the head coach of the new pro team, Bay FC, and he has a huge game tomorrow, so we got to support them to try to make the playoffs, but thank you for being here. And to Aaron for your influence and support that I know was always quietly present, and I know it was always there, so thank you. Albertine and Aaron will always be considered family to me, and thank you so much. Paul Ratcliffe couldn't be here. He sent me a really nice message. They're playing Notre Dame, and I told him thank you and please beat Notre Dame. Paul is such a nice guy, and he got a great group of players, but I respect that he let us do our thing, and not all coaches are able to do that. So, and I appreciate that Paul and I got to spend so many special moments together, the most special one at the end, a prize for all our hard work. So thank you, Paul. To my teammates on MVLA Mercury, my club team, Stanford Women's Soccer, and my national teams, thank you for being my friends, my community, and at so many times my motivation to keep going. I was just one piece of a large whole, and my teammates are 100% what I miss the most from playing, and it's truly an honor to have gotten to know them as people. And I sincerely wish the very best for every single one of them in their lives ahead. And again, thank you again to Stanford for this beautiful honor. I'll always hold Stanford athletics and Stanford soccer very near to my heart. Thank you very much.
One more time for Teresa Noyola. Yeah, beat Notre Dame. I like that. Our next inductee tonight is Chiney Ogwumike. One of the most dynamic student athletes in school history, Chiney, a generational talent synonymous with the emergence of women's basketball as an annual championship contender. Chiney led Stanford to the NCAA Final Four in 3 of her 4 seasons, helping the Cardinals to records of 134-12 overall and 70-2 in conference play. 3-time All-American, the only John R. Wooden Award recipient in school history. She also helped the Card win 4 conference championships, was a 2-time Pac-12 Player of the Year, 3-time Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, and the 2011 Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. She is still Stanford's all-time leader in career scoring, rebounding, and career field goal percentage. Oh, by the way, she was also a 2-time Academic All-American, Academic All-America of the Year, and Pac-12 Scholar Athlete of the Year. The #1 overall pick of the Connecticut Sun in the 2014 WNBA draft, Chiney was also a 2-time WNBA All-Star and the WNBA Rookie of the Year. She's also been a full-time basketball analyst and personality at ESPN since 2018, and just announced this week, will still be for years to come. She continues to use her voice to enact positive change, and in September 2023 was appointed to the inaugural President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States. Chiney is the 15th Hall of Fame inductee from women's basketball, following Annika Ogwumike. How about that? 2 years ago. Please welcome and congratulate Chiney Ogwumike. Not enough.
Good evening. I know that the 5-minute limit was because of me. So I'll just stick to the script that I wrote just to make sure we respect everyone's time. Distinguished members of Stanford University and our athletic department, Director Bernard Muir, my fellow inductees, thank you so much for this tremendous honor. 2 years ago, I was right there in the audience watching my big sis join the Stanford Athletics Hall of Fame, and I was so proud. I had goosebumps. Now to be here today, it is tremendously surreal. Now, everything that I've tried to do, it's to be like my sister, and look where that has got me, so thank you, Annika. So when I think about Stanford, I think about home, and I do not take that lightly. Everyone that knows me knows I'm a homebody, despite what you might see on the outside. First, to me, home is family, and my family's here today. I am the daughter of Peter and Ife Ogwumike. I am the sister of Nneka, Chisom, and Erema. Now, secondly, home is identity. I am proudly Nigerian American, a descendant of the diaspora, and of course, a part of my identity is that I am an athlete, and I am still fiercely competitive. I have that drive to really try to succeed in every avenue of life, even though today it's more so from the sidelines. It's all good. But what I really learned since leaving Stanford is when it comes to home, the 4 walls around you, it may change, but the people, they leave an indelible mark, and that is what you carry with you wherever you go. Now, I don't know if this is a secret, but I always knew I was gonna come to Stanford. Sorry, Amy, sorry, Tara, for all that recruiting work you did. I always knew I was gonna be here. Once Nneka signed on, I was like, y'all can take me too. Now, what I did not know is how everything you think you would expect is not what truly matters. I'm talking about the player awards, the history, the records. Instead, here's a short little list of what truly mattered. What mattered was the fact that this school in Palo Alto is truly a playground that prepares you for personal and professional life. It's a unique place where practice means many things. It means from the problems you solve before a test to the endless shots you take to try to be the best. This is a place where you learn that progress is better than perfection. It's also the place that you learn that there's nothing more freeing than conquering your fear of failure. No better example of this is why was I so nervous to try to make 10 free throws in a row at the end of practice? I don't know why I was so nervous. The pro in me today would be like, oh, that's light work, but that pressure, it truly is a privilege. It's a privilege because yesterday's challenge really builds today's champions, and that's what I learned at Stanford. What mattered was being a part of a Stanford women's basketball legacy that helped lay the foundation of what the world is so captivated by today. We had the coach with the most wins ever, period, Tara Vanderveer. We have WNBA MVPs. We have league presidents. We went from beating teams on ESPN2 and ESPNU to now being a part of the mainstream news. That is powerful. Our sport is dominating everything, and Stanford women's basketball is a certified cornerstone in the house of hoops. And speaking of which, what mattered was Coach Kate Pay, teaching us the true meaning of one of my dad's favorite sayings, mind over matter. Because to survive Kate's practices or Susan's practices, it took some prayer some days. I'll never forget turning to Grace Mayshore in the middle of a workout, and I forgot what gym it was, and I turned to her and I said, sis, if I pass out, I'm telling you first. I'm telling you first. But she had my back. But now what Coach Kate Pay has taught me is how to push myself to my limit, but also remain standing. What mattered was Coach Amy Tucker, who's here today, who looked at a crazy freshman and said she is worth a shot. It takes an Amy in a room, not just a locker room, a corporate boardroom, a classroom, someone, a visionary, to create opportunities for those who are just scratching the surface of their dreams. Thanks, Amy. And what mattered was having teammates. I know Bird's up in here, Jeanette's up in here. Of course, my sister, she's a teammate, lifelong teammate, that would not only pick you up when your bike got stolen, but they'd also pick you up when you lost a big game and you felt the pressure of the world on your shoulders. What mattered was Dr. Condoleezza Rice following through, just like you're supposed to do on your jump shot. And after, I tried my best, I finally got it by the time I got to the pros. And afterward, following through after my official visit and inspiring me to pursue my academic passion in international relations. But also Dr. Condoleezza Rice for threatening me to be an active participant in school, teaching me that I can be great both on and off the court. That same way I really learned how to give my all, not only as a professional athlete, but also as I was falling in love with broadcast television. What mattered was Tara Vanderveer, teaching me the importance of showing up as the same person each and every day, attacking your craft with relentless passion, having an insatiable appetite for success and learning. Because men lie, women lie sometimes, but numbers don't. We all know that's where I fell in love with numbers. A coach that is your Hall of Famers, your favorite Hall of Famers' favorite Hall of Famer. A woman who is known for winning off the court, but cares more about your wins off the court, on the court. Sorry. A woman who's known for winning on the court, but cares more about your winning off the court. Who sends me messages when she catches me at work on TV, even more proud than when I was wearing her uniform. Now, what mattered was Nneka, period. Teaching me literally everything in life. Transforming every space she enters into a sisterhood, something that I've witnessed since birth. A sister who blazed the trail here at Stanford and beyond that shows us the power of not being competitive, but instead being collaborative as women. A sister that never thought that any of my dreams were crazy. I mean, she literally rapped Nerd City with me. Like, that's some real love. A sister that was willing to corner me at halftime of my final game at Maples to give me a pep talk, just to make sure I could feel my best self in the second half. A sister that would sacrifice everything for me to succeed. That's why I'm standing here today. I'm also standing here because of an amazing girl dad, a man who told us 4 girls that we were nothing less than spectacular. A man that told us that we can take on any challenge no matter what is in front of us. Also, he taught us about DBB, real ones know how to get in. It stands for dirty basketball. When people were going crazy, it's like, it's time to play DBB, dirty basketball. He taught us basically what it means to fight to win. And right next to him is our badass mom, who leads by example, our first teacher, our first doctor, sorry, Irma, who's like an actual doctor, a woman who is the literal definition of hard work. As you can see, my family has grown far beyond Houston because Stanford was actually my first home away from home. This induction is a celebration of everything Stanford Athletics represents, an institution that transforms players that are full of potential into people that are powered by purpose. As athletes, we are taught that you are what you repeatedly do, but at Stanford, you are also the product of the excellence that surrounds you. Because, real ones know, the S on our chest, it isn't just for Stanford, it's truly, at least to me, about sisterhood. So thank you, Nerd City, for believing in me, all of my family and friends for being here to celebrate me. I am so grateful for this journey and promise to build upon the legacy. But most of all, it was an honor to be a part of this esteemed history. Thank you.
How about that? Chiney Ogwumike, folks. She's good at this public speaking thing. She might want to pursue that as a career, perhaps. I don't know. Our next inductee is Carlos Quentin. Stanford baseball was a fixture in Omaha for the College World Series in the early 2000s, and Carlos's consistent production and leadership was a big reason why. Before turning pro, Carlos went to Omaha 3 times as a key member of Stanford's NCAA College World Series teams, including runner-up finishes in 2001 and 2003. Golden Spikes Award finalist in 2003, earned a spot on the NCAA College World Series All-Tournament team that year, was also a 2-time All-American during his time on the farm, and I saw him mash many balls over the fence at Sunken Diamond. 2001 Pac-10 Freshman of the Year, 3-time All-Conference selection, helped lead the Cardinal to the 2003 Pac-10 championship. He finished his 3-year career with a .350 batting average, 35 home runs, 170 RBI, and 26 stolen bases in 199 games. Taken in the first round of the 2003 Major League Baseball draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks, 2-time MLB All-Star, winner of the MLB Silver Slugger Award in 2008. His 9-year MLB career also included a 5th-place finish in the 2008 American League MVP voting. Carlos is the 49th Hall of Fame inductee from baseball, following Joe Borchard, who was here last year. Please welcome and congratulate Carlos Quentin.
Thank you for that great introduction, Troy. Congratulations to all the inductees here. I'm honored, I'm humbled to be included in this class of amazing athletes. This is one of the more difficult speeches I've had to prepare for. Kind of forces me to openly kind of reflect on my life in baseball and how it's kind of affected the people I love and hold most dear to me in my life. I think every athlete here would know everyone has an interesting and complex relationship with their sport. And for mine, there was a lot of love and hate, to be really honest. I mean, you see a kid up there that played baseball like he was in a fight, and that's really the truth of it. But anyways, I tend to have to remind myself about all the good that came from the game. Like, today's good, And the good that has come from this game is sitting here supporting me, people that showed up for me tonight. And they keep telling me they're here to celebrate me. And that's just, it's an amazing feeling. But, honestly, I just like to celebrate them for a second because, There's no way I'm here without them, without any of them. So I'm going to try to do that in a really short amount of time. And, here we go. Frank, I remember the first time I met you. I know Coach Serrano right now is smiling down on us. Pulled me out when I was a freshman in high school and shook my hand. We shook hands, and I got sent back to practice. And he said, remember that man? He's a good man. Make sure you always say hi to him. And I thank you for your friendship. And Kathy for always including me and my family in yours. Andrew, it's 25 years, man. One of the best men I know. I loved playing football growing up. It defined me as a baseball player. And you always helped me remember that. And it's comforting. Esky, I don't know if you're here right now, but thank you for telling a kid the truth, telling him to go to Stanford, especially when you're the Cal head coach. And letting a kid feel at ease at a recruiting dinner with a head coach. That meant a lot. And always letting me feel like when I come home to Sunken Diamond. 9, you taught a young kid what it really means to work hard. You probably don't remember this, and some people do. Borch, I know you do. There was a weight room that was south of the practice football fields. It was nothing beautiful like it is now. But I went in late my freshman year to get a lift in, and I walked through the door, and I looked to my right, and there 9 was, running full speed on a treadmill, drenched in sweat, and limping. And what that really taught me, and it clicked for me right then, was working harder than others is a choice. Pushing past your limitations is a decision. And if your head coach could do that, then I sure as hell better been able to too. Billy, I got drafted in the first round my junior year because of you, man. I was a Golden Spikes finalist because of you. It's because I live with you. Off the field, you made that environment for me, man. I just want to make sure you know that that's who you are, and I love you for that, and I'm proud to be your friend. See you, Lou Winey. Thanks for reminding me what it's like to deal with adversity. Thanks for sharing me your growth. Helps me remember mine. Thank you. John, you were there with me through some of the darkest moments in my career. It's just the truth. And what I remember is, and I'll never forget, is a dark hotel hallway and hugging you after another bad decision by a front office, and knowing how much love I had in my heart for you and how much you did for me as a teammate, and wishing I could do that for you. And you're a true friend. I look up to you, and I'm really proud of you, man. Mike, Casey, Jeremy, 3 of the best people I know. Amazing group of people that surround me today that will always remind me of what I am right now and not what I was. I thank you for that. Thank you for letting me be part of your lives. Jen, thanks for being here tonight, too. Nick, it's been a while since you let me borrow your wood bat, and I broke it over my back in area code. I got a lot of respect for you, man. Thank you for letting me and helping me continue to learn in this next journey. Tia Pam, you've always been there with arms wide open, full of love. Tia Rosemary and Tia Lanning, we're always there with you. And I know they're smiling down on us now. Mom and Dad, there's a lot to say here. Sorry, excuse me. But maybe not that much needs to be really said. Mom, you did a great job. You're a great mom. Dad, you always showed up when I needed you. You've always loved me when I needed you the most. You continue to do so today. And I really hope I made you proud. Jeannie, my lovely wife. I'm lucky you chose me. I really couldn't have survived this journey without you. I hope everyone understands, but more importantly, I hope you understand how much I needed you through all of it. How coming home from the field was coming home to someone that just, the game really wasn't that important. I was coming home to you, and you just being my wife. It was everything to me. You're my best friend. You help me every day. Thank you. I love you. Clark and Cozy, my two beautiful children. Whenever I'm struggling or forget the blessings that this game gave me, I just kind of look into your eyes and you remind me what really matters. I'm so proud of both of you and who you're becoming, how hard you work, the joy you bring to everything you do. I'm proud of your smiles. I love you both so very much. Before I wrap up here, I'm happy this is being recorded. I have a few more things to say, and one is thank you to every one of my Stanford baseball teammates. If I was ever a bad teammate to any of you, I'm sorry. If I was a good teammate to you, I'm thankful. Please know that I know that every person I played with at Stanford gave me the chance to succeed and be here standing today. 3 College World Series in a row, never got a championship, but the body of work stands for itself. And just know that I was good because you guys were good. That's really the truth. To those that couldn't make it, my grandma, my grandpa, Jade, Rigo, my nieces, Kalia, Nalani, Kaya, Sean Doyle, my Stanford coaches, Matthias, many others, thank you. Finally, to the Stanford University, Stanford Athletic Department, the Stanford family, anyone who put me up here and let me speak. The only thing I can really say is, for that kid up there, thinking about baseball and thinking about home, there's only really one place, and it's here, and that's really special to me. For most athletes, no matter how well they did or didn't do, especially as a baseball player, you don't get to really ride off into the sunset, just the truth of it. Your career ends, you kind of pick it up, you pick up your stuff, you go home, and the next day happens. You guys have given me a sunset, and for that I'm eternally grateful. Thank you.
One more time for Carlos, Quentin. All right, member number 8 of our class tonight, Patrick Rodgers. Patrick got the call for the Hall in his first season of eligibility, one of 4 tonight, and he's one of the most well-recognized competitors in program history. Patrick led the Cardinal to 3 NCAA appearances, including a semifinal finish in 2014. Swept 3 of college golf's most prestigious awards that season, nabbing Jack Nicklaus National Player of the Year, the Ben Hogan Award, and the Haskins Award as well. 3-time first-team All-American, Patrick was also named the 2014 Pac-12 Golfer of the Year and the 2012 Pac-12 Freshman of the Year. He was also the 2014 Pac-12 Individual Champion, fueling Stanford to the team conference title. Patrick totaled 11 career tournament wins, matching the school record shared by Maverick McNeely and Tiger Woods. He also excelled in the classroom, named an academic All-American in 2014, joined the PGA Tour the following year, and owns a current official world golf ranking of number 86. Patrick is the 19th Hall of Fame inductee from men's golf and the first since Wally Goodwin in 2018. Please welcome and congratulate Patrick Rodgers.
I just hoped I would get into Stanford, so it's pretty surreal to be standing here. When I was a freshman in high school, Golf Digest published a list of the best universities in America for college golf. It was complete with analytics based on weather and academics and team success, and I don't think it would be anyone's surprise that the #1 school on that list was Stanford University. Almost immediately, I went to the golf team website and found the email of Coach Conrad Ray, and with zero context and a non-qualifying golf resume, I wrote to him to see if I could come to campus for a visit. I'm still surprised to this day that he responded and agreed to show me around. I'm not sure why. Maybe he was just being polite. But with the visit booked, Stanford golf became my obsession. I watched the swing videos of every former player. I admired the photos of the golf course and the facilities, and I studied the records and marveled at all the famous alumni. I also learned that the coach who I had emailed was the defending national champion. The more I learned, the bigger my dream became, and so later that year, my parents flew me from Indianapolis to San Francisco to visit Stanford for the first time. I got to meet Coach and see the campus in person. It felt and still feels fake. Too good to be true and almost romantic, and I was sincerely blown away. I'll never forget that day. That's when my dream became a vision, and since that day, I've directed all of my energy towards becoming a golfer, a student, and a person worthy of being a Stanford student athlete. Every time I come back to campus, especially this week, sharing it for the first time with my son, Rafi, who's checked out of his Peppa Pig episode to watch me speak. I'm just overwhelmed being here, and I'm reminded of that inspiration and the possibility that Stanford has always given me. So I want to thank my coach, Conrad Ray, for taking a chance on a no-name kid from Indiana. It's hard to put into words the impact that Coach has had on my life. He was the only coach that made me get accepted into school before offering me a scholarship, and my mom really appreciated that. He never pumped my tires unless I had really, really earned it. I rolled my eyes when I was in school at the wisdom that he gave to all of us, but the older I get, the smarter he seems. He's always had my back, and the continued success of the program is down to his steady presence at the helm. I want to give a special thank you to my assistant coach, Phil Rowe, my coach from Cornwall, England. He's especially proud that I've married an English girl and that my kids have British passports. Coach Rowe fostered my passion for the game like no one else has. He always had a shot, a new tool, to try to add in positive energy that made me love competing, practicing, and learning the game. Still to this day, competing when I'm in a difficult spot on the course, I still think of what Coach Rowe would play here. He always believed in me, and I have to thank him for that. Standing up here tonight, I have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming. To be on a list with these incredible athletes is such an honor, and I want to congratulate each and every one of you. Just being in a room with you guys, it almost makes me not feel worthy of being here. I'm a huge fan of Chiney and your work as a player, and now watching you on TV all the time. And Stefan, you definitely scored at Notre Dame. I'm still mad. But I'm so inspired by you, and it's just an honor to be included on a list with your guys' names. Golf is an individual sport. It can be an incredibly lonely place, many hours alone on the range, and only yourself to blame when things go wrong. As I'm lucky to be continuing a professional career, I've been competing for more than 20 years, but I can say that with complete clarity that my favorite time as a golfer has been sharing it with teammates at Stanford. Team golf is the best version of golf. We confided in each other when the game beat us up. We celebrated the rare victories that golf gives you, but it was the memories that were the most lasting along the way. The team trips together, we went to Los Angeles, Hawaii, Las Vegas, and even Scotland. I mean, Stanford golf was filled with one once-in-a-lifetime experience after another, and my teammates have become some of my lifelong friends. Here tonight, my teammate, my roommate, my caddy, my coach, and my best friend, Patrick Grimes. We grew up here together. We nearly burnt down Mirrlees together, trying to learn how to cook. We filmed a lot of golf swings trying to find the answer that we still don't have, but we chased the same far-off dreams, and I'm really lucky to have shared this experience with you. I was fortunate to win a few times as a player, but my last year in school, we had an amazing team. It was by far the most fun that I had ever had playing golf. And just the rush of having your golf shots matter for your entire teammates and determine the outcome of the event. There's just nothing like it. We worked our tail off. We were robbed of a national championship by some tough match play luck, but I'm proud to have been part of such a special group. I'd like to take a moment to thank my family who's here tonight. Not once along the way did my parents tell me that I was dreaming too big or make me hesitate on a goal to come across the country to a place as special as Stanford. They both always and continue to make me feel like I'm capable and that I can do anything. My mom has really made me feel that way, that I could do anything if I believed in myself and worked hard. Little did I know that the whole time that the magic was her, behind the scenes, fostering my passions and giving me the opportunity to succeed, pushing me if she felt like I was capable of more. Thank you for seeing more in me than I ever could. My dad came from Indiana to most of my tournaments at Stanford, and I will always cherish the feeling and security that he gave me when he watched me play. I always knew where my ball was, what I needed to do for the team to win, but much more than that, he was the steady anchor that allowed me to feel safe and secure through any uncertainty or challenge in a big transition time in my life. Now that I have kids of my own, I'm incredibly thankful for the sacrifice and the attention of both my parents and that they still give to me to this day. My grandparents who are here tonight, Larry and Kathy, and my grandma Barb back home in Chicago, I'm so fortunate to stand on the foundation here that you all have worked so hard to build, to create a life for yourselves and for my parents. I had every opportunity to succeed as a kid, and it was because of you. I will forever be indebted to the choices that you made to give us a better life, and I love you. To my wife, Jade, life has become better in every way since we met. You take me for exactly who I am, no matter how many tattered Stanford clothes I still have from my freshman year. You're the engine that makes our family go, and you give everything of yourself to me and the kids. I'm so lucky to be raising them with you and be by your side. To Rafi and Rosie, Rafi who's here, you've given my life so much purpose and joy. Being your dad is the greatest achievement that I've ever had. I hope that as a dad, I can ignite your passions the way that Stanford has ignited them for me. I dream one day of coming back here with you both to finally finish my degree. I want to thank Bernard and the Stanford Athletic Department for this incredible honor and opportunity. I still feel like I'm the 14-year-old kid who walked up on campus for the first time. I'm in awe of this place, and I'm inspired by the athletes and the students that it represents. Go Cardinal.
Patrick, Rodgers, and Entourage. How about that? How you guys doing out there? You feeling good? Feeling all right? Okay. All right. Just checking. All right. We will keep it moving, and we will head on to our next inductee, Katerina Stefanidi. Enjoying success at every level of the sport, Katerina's impressive collegiate career set her up for success on some of the world's biggest stages, most recently in Paris this summer, representing Greece at the Olympic Games. Six-time All-American who was honored in both outdoor and indoor, Katerina was the 2012 NCAA outdoor champion in the pole vault. A five-time individual conference champion, Katerina was also a member of two MPSF indoor track and field championship teams. She's the school record holder in the pole vault, both for outdoor and indoor competition. Her longevity and her sustained international success has been absolutely remarkable. The Paris Games this summer were her 4th Olympics, and she got gold in 2016 in Rio. Katerina is a 2-time World Outdoor Championship medalist, 2-time World Indoor Championship medalist, 3-time Diamond League final winner, and 3-time European champion. She is the 16th Hall of Fame inductee for women's track and field, following up Corey Carter, who was here last year. Please welcome and congratulate Katerina Stefanidi.
This list makes me feel old, not gonna lie. Thank you. Thank you very much for this honor. I grew up in Athens, Greece, if you couldn't tell by the accent. And in Greece, we don't really have the equivalent of a Hall of Fame. So while I am very honored to be here today, I think I potentially don't quite grasp the importance and the noteworthiness of what is happening here tonight. But I do believe that this has been a theme throughout my life. I loved every second I spent here at Stanford, but it took me leaving to realize how important. I have no practice speech crying, so this is gonna be hard. It took me leaving to realize how important it was to me. Okay, the crying and the accent together are not gonna work. I adore this campus, but I didn't realize how incredibly beautiful it is until I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and and you can miss trees. It's a real thing. And I loved all my professors, my coaches, my friends and teammates. 2 of them are here tonight, Kaylin and Casey. Thank you, guys. But I didn't realize the great impact they had on me until we were living states or countries apart. So if you take anything from what I'm about to say here tonight, is let's try to really appreciate what we have right now and know when we lose it or the moment is past. I would like to share 2 stories with you from my time here at Stanford. They're gonna actually sound very insignificant, but they've had a huge impact in my career during college, but also beyond. The first took place towards the end of my freshman year, at a time when I was actually considering quitting sport, and I was trying to find different ways to fund my academic journey at Stanford. We had just come back from regionals, where I had not been able to clear a single height, and Coach Floreal, the head coach at the time, had asked to have a meeting with me and understand what went wrong at regionals. And I'm not one to shy away from voicing my opinion. So I explained to him that I've pole vaulted since I was 10 years old. I understand and know the event very well, and I know myself as an athlete very well. And I know that when I'm down to a 3rd attempt, I'm more decisive, I'm more aggressive, and I feel like that needed to be taken into account that day by the coaches, but it was not. So I thought that decision-making was part of what went wrong. And when you share your opinion, it can come with some backlash. So I was bracing myself for it. I was ready for it, but Coach Flo stood there for what felt like 7 hours, and he turned and looked at me and said, "This intuition is what is going to make you an Olympic champion." So to this day, I don't understand the response, but I have taken that little piece of wisdom and foresight, honestly, and I've carried it throughout my collegiate and my professional career, and I think it gave me the confidence to really trust my intuition when it mattered. Oh my God, it's terrible. The second story was approximately 8 months later, right before winter break of my sophomore year. I was once again not having a great season, more mentally than physically this time. I was recruited by Coach Chris Mack. Thank you, Coach. But after my freshman year, Coach Mack left and Coach Toby Stevenson came in. Toby is the 2004 Olympic silver medalist in my hometown Olympics in Athens. He was a huge idol of mine, and coincidentally, he's also a Stanford Hall of Fame inductee. So once again, I was having a bad year. Toby pulled me aside, and he wanted to have a talk. And we spoke about sport and about athletic goals and how to reach your best while still enjoying what you do. And now I think maybe a little context is important. Growing up in Greece, I was raised in a training program that was heavily influenced by Eastern European mentality. So there was only one path to success. You had to follow it. You had to be very serious. There was no space for having fun in sport. In fact, I was specifically told that in sport, you can either have fun or achieve your goals. So that evening, unfortunately, I cannot quote any of that conversation. I just remember crying. And that evening, in a very short conversation, Toby was able to convince me that the exact opposite is actually true. And to be successful in sport, and probably in anything in life, you first have to enjoy it. So two big lessons I learned from my coaches here at Stanford. Now, because we don't have Hall of Fames in Greece, I had to watch a lot of the speeches from the previous Hall of Fame induction ceremonies to know what I'm supposed to say. And the one thing that came up in every speech, and I think it came up in every speech today as well, was the people. What makes Stanford special is the people. And in watching all these speeches and listening to all these speeches, and again, listening to the speeches today, I reflected back on my own experience at Stanford. And I realized, and now this is going to sound a little self-centered at first, but just give me a second. I realized that what made my Stanford experience special for me is the person that I became here. Stanford changed how I wanted to see myself. It changed who I wanted to be. It changed how I saw myself as an individual, how I saw myself in my immediate community, how I saw myself in the world. It gave me knowledge on so many topics and subjects beyond what I actually studied. It helped me, it developed my critical thinking, and it gave me the space and time to do that. And maybe more importantly, it gave me self-belief and self-confidence, without which I know I would have not achieved anything that I have in sport. But I am 100% convinced that the person I became here at Stanford is a mere reflection of the people I was surrounded by. People that loved and accepted me from the very beginning for who I was, but also who I was becoming. People that supported me in failure and celebrated with me in success. And people that challenged me, and I don't remember the rest. People that challenged me to be the best version of myself. So first and foremost, I would like to thank the people. I would like to thank the Stanford community for really making this place a place I'm proud to call home. I would also like to thank admissions. Good one. I would like to thank the donors, because 100% I would not have been able to be part of this institution without them. I would like to thank everybody who is here tonight to celebrate with us, especially my friends and family. I would like to thank my husband and coach. He's been my coach for the last 9 years, and without him, I would have not been able to achieve anything that I have. and I'm just grateful to be part of the Stanford community. Thank you very much.
One more time for Katerina Stefanidi. That was cool. Okay, we close tonight's ceremony with an iconic name from Stanford football as we recognize the achievements of Stefan Taylor. Stefan was a member of 4 bowl teams, highlighted by victories in the 2010 Orange Bowl and the 2012 Rose Bowl. An All-American in 2012, Stefan was the Rose Bowl Offensive Player of the Game, totaling 88 yards on 20 carries with 1 touchdown in Stanford's 20-14 win over Wisconsin. Man, that was a great day. He holds Stanford records in career rushing yards, rushing attempts, and in total touchdowns. He was a 3-time All-Conference selection and member of the 2012 Pac-12 championship team. He produced 3 seasons of at least 1,000 rushing yards, an achievement that is tied for the most in school history. Stefan was selected in the 5th round of the 2013 NFL Draft by the Arizona Cardinals and played 4 seasons. And he also did business as Kulabafi. Stefan is the 98th Hall of Fame inductee from football and follows Andrew Luck. Oh, hey, I see you over there, who was just at this podium last year. Please welcome and congratulate the one and only Stefan Taylor.
I see we got the hair on there. Got the beard now, though. Looking good. What's a lot of y'all up there? Okay. I feel like my journey to Stanford was a little different. I didn't really know too much about Stanford, if I'm being honest. I was being from Texas, in my circle, it was just like Big 12, SEC, so I knew like Texas, OU, like Auburn, those schools. But I did see Stanford beat USC one day on like ESPN. It was like an upset, and they beat them. I was like, that's cute. The Ivy League school beat them. That's cute. I was like, all right, that's cute. I like that. I see y'all. But no, yeah, I thought it was an Ivy League school. And like I explained, like once I figured out it wasn't an Ivy League school was when I had my counselor. I was at school, and you know, in like high school, you get your letters and stuff from like the colleges, and it was like that school with the leprechaun, and we got Auburn and like stuff like that. And then the teacher, my counselor, she saw Stanford, and she like stopped on Stanford. She was like, I kind of like pushed Stanford aside. I'm not gonna lie, and I was like, you see that school right there? And she was like, what about Stanford? And I was like, I don't want to play in the cold. And she was. And she was like, she looked at me, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to play in the cold, you know, in Texas. And she was like, it's in California. And I was like, I want to play, you know, BCS games. She said, they play USC. I was like, I remember that Ivy League school beat USC. She was like, no, they're in the Pac-10. So then, like, after that, I started doing my research. So yeah, Miss Doctor, thank you. She looked out. She got me here, kinda. So that helped me. I started opening up my journey and started looking at Stanford. And you know, you start seeing Stanford everywhere once you know. Like, I think the Avatar movie came out, the blue people. And like, she had like the Stanford shirt on. I'm like, all right. So we had that. And then, I'm for real. Let me think. Where I'm at. So yeah, we had the blue people. And then, all right, admissions, my mom, you know, we had all those essays. It was like 3 or 5 essays. I'm like, I'm getting tired of writing these essays. Like, I'm not trying to. I like math. So my mom was like, just do it. Just be patient. You just do it. And I'm like, if I had to write one more essay, I'm not gonna go. Because they made me go to another school and take another AP class as well, and I'm like, all right, this better be worth it. So foreshadow, it was worth it. So we had that, we had the admissions, and like my thing is like, I just need, once I know what I need to know, I'm kind of just like, all right, I come in, do my work, and leave. So like, I didn't know what I didn't need to know with Stanford, and then once I started doing my research, I mean, this kind of was a no-brainer. Like, fast forward, I didn't really even have a 1, 2, 3. It was just like, let me get accepted into school, and then I'm coming here. I came on my official visit. I didn't get the word that I was in yet. And I was like, all right, well, better start opening back up. Harbaugh didn't let me know. So yeah, that was that. But like I said, like once I need to know what I need to know, then I'm good to go. And like I remember 09 class, I was looking at all of their highlight tapes. And then I come from like a high school where we really weren't winning, but we had a class, underdog, and we came and we won games like that. So like I didn't really want to go to a place that was already winning. I liked the underdog mentality of coming and playing and creating something. So like, I didn't know anything about Stanford. I just looked at my 09 class, and Coach Clayton White, he came to recruit me. Coach Harbaugh came. I think my mom probably made like tamales or something. What you made? Why we making tamales? So she made tamales. And we go in there, and then like I saw the 09 class. I'm like, we have the running backs, we have the linemen, everybody. And then my high school coach was like, there's another player up there. He's redshirt right now. He's a big guy. He's a quarterback. And he was like, his name Andrew. He's like, he's going to be pretty good. And I was like, all right, cool. We got a quarterback. I was like, I told you, I just need to know what I need to know, and I'm good. Like, I already saw my 09 class. We coming in, we going to build up. So, like, once I had that, and then I got on campus, I didn't know Toby was here. So, so the first year, Toby's getting all the carries. But I'm like, all right, hey, I get it, you know. Work. We got the 09 class still here. We're going to build this up. So I trusted the process, trusted the team, and then I got surprised by the teammates over there. You know, as a running back, you always got to shout out the offensive line, the fullbacks. And with our offense, you got to shout out the receivers as well because they're blocking as well, the tight end, the quarterback's blocking. So everybody's I'm blocking when I'm running. So it's like, I don't know how I'm doing that, but so it's, you know, it's just great being with the teammates and everything like that. I'm kind of freestyling right now, so it's not. I'm sorry, but that was a great team that was a part of and everything like that. I'm trying to hold out, thanking the family a little bit because I had a high school Hall of Fame. I was choking up a little bit, so I want to do that again. But we're gonna start. So we got my dad right there, my great aunt, my great uncle, my sister, my little cousin Bailey. We got Lorraine, my big cousin, my big cousin Norman. I used to always play basketball with him. Is that Wendy? I see you, Wendy. My mom right there. Thank you a lot. We got Trey. He sleep. Wake up, Trey. All right, and then we got my other family right here, the Wolves. We got Scott, Mr. Scott, Miss Kelly, and we got Riley, and we got Jack. And then, you know, they was our donor family. So when my host family in the summertime, we had to, you know, we here at the summer workouts. We're not supposed to be here, but we're here, but we still working out, training. So they graciously opened their house to us, to me and another player, Jamal Rashad Patterson. And like, I'm kind of just like, you know, I don't really trust people too much, but like they definitely, you know, let me like feel comfortable and like open up their house to me a lot, and I really do appreciate it. I know my family does as well. So what else we have? The hardest decision was to figure out if I'm gonna do this speech as Koulibaly or Stefan. If you know, you know, we're going with Stefan tonight. But I mean, what else did I miss out? I want to thank all my coaches, even from like Pee Wee. I remember in 4th grade, I had a coach. I thought I was done playing football, and I was crying. My mom had to call Coach Dunsmore to come and tell him, like, you can still play football. It's going to be okay. So I appreciate that. And then coming up, and I feel like started with my family. They gave me the head on my shoulders and, you know, keeping me, you know, thinking the right way and things like that. And that benefited with the coaches that I had. And then what they taught me to benefit the other coaches that I had as well. So thank all the coaches here at Stanford as well, the players as well. I'm trying to think, I hope I don't miss anybody. Coach Charlie as well. Coach Charlie, he's pretty much, he's our strength conditioning coach, and he got us right. Let me see what else. I think that's it. You know, it's crazy we here. in the Hall of Fame at Stanford University. That's cute. That's cute for me. You know what I'm saying? That's cute. So that's all I got. I appreciate it. And congrats to everybody, all the athletes. Thank you.
One more time for Stefan Taylor. What a night, huh? This is my favorite events every single year. So honored to be a small part of it, but the inductees, congratulations to all of you. Well-deserved, well-earned. And once again, I know that you guys are going to continue to be fantastic ambassadors for Stanford University, continuing for even before this day and continuing for continuing in perpetuity. That concludes our ceremony for tonight. Reception upstairs, refreshments, hijinks, hilarity. Have fun, celebrate the inductees, celebrate yourselves, and have fun tonight. Thanks for coming out here tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and go Stanford. Oh, one more bit of business. If I can ask the inductees to come down front for a team photo. All the inductees, please come down front for a photo. Thank you.